Hi guys, this is AJ here and welcome back to AJ Automation. So today I have come up with another important video in most important concept in the Selenium series. So today's topic is how to find a web element in Selenium WebDriver. So this topic is very important for you guys, and you has to be good, not good, you has to be best in this, otherwise you will face many problems while creating script for your real-time application. Okay, so we are going to see in detail what are the different locators or locating strategies available in the Selenium WebDriver to locate a web element on web page. Okay, so all these colorful text you can see on the screen, this called as a locators that are available in the Selenium WebDriver. So we will see each one of them in detail. So I'm going to cover this concept in multiple parts. There will be around 3 to 4 parts. Okay, so watch each and every part so that you will become master in this. Okay, you has to be master, because I would say this topic is heart of Selenium WebDriver, because before performing any action on web page, okay, it's your responsibility to find that web element first. Okay, then only you will be able to perform the necessary actions. Okay, so this is very important, and let us learn how you can find that web element using these different locating strategies available in the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so let's get started with part 1. Okay, first let us look at some question that you can expect in the interviews. So what is meant by to locate a web element, how to locate an web element on web page, what are the different locators, what are the different locating strategies in Selenium WebDriver, and exactly how many locators are there in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so we will see our answer to all these questions in this video and in coming parts. So let us look at first two question. Okay, to understand what exactly it is, let us consider a general scenario. With the help of this we will be able to understand properly. Okay, so the scenario is, I want to go to facebook.com. Okay, first step. Then I need to enter some text in email and okay, email and password field. And then I need to click on login button. Okay, so this is the general scenario. So how we can do that manually? If you see, first thing, before you go to facebook.com, you need to open in any browser, let's say I browser or Chrome or Firefox. So as of now, let us open Chrome. Okay, then you need to enter facebook.com. Okay, then hit enter. Okay, once you are landed on the the application website, uh, you need to find you need to enter some text in email and password field. So first you need to find these fields, where exactly these fields are available on the web page. Okay, so this is the Facebook homepage or login page, can we say. And how you can find the fields? Okay, so in manual testing or in manually, we use our eyes and brain. Okay, so our eyes help us. Okay, this is the email field, and this is the password, and this is the login button, which is available to the right corner of the screen. Okay, top right corner. So we use our eyes. Okay, this field is here, password is here, and then with the help of mouse and keyboard we enter some data in both the fields, and then we will click on login button. So before adding any data, we need to make sure, okay, whatever label the field has, and that is the correct field. Okay, so that means this field having this label, that means that is the email field we need, where we need to enter some data. This is the password field, here we need to enter the password, and this is the button. So as per our scenario, we need to find these three fields first. Okay, and then we will be able to complete our scenario manually. Okay, so in manually, what we used our brain, we used our eyes, to locate these two fields, locate these three fields. Okay, and with the help of mouse we will be able to click on this login button. But in automation, in as far as Selenium is concerned, Selenium WebDriver don't have any eyes, right? It is just a code. With the help of code and script, we need to tell the Selenium that go and find this field first, okay, and then enter the data. Okay, so before entering any data or before performing any action, you need to find the related fields. Okay, so if you want to enter data in email and password, so with the help of code and script you need to find this field first. Okay, Selenium need to come here. Okay, this is the email field, that is what we want. Then with the help of send keys method we will enter some data. Okay, this is the password field, use send keys method. Okay, so how exactly we are going to tell Selenium that okay, find this web element? Okay, how Selenium will find this web element? So the mechanism, or there are some functions in Selenium which are used to locate web element. Okay, and these functions we will see now. So answer to these two questions, how you can locate a web element in Selenium WebDriver is, there are two methods, or you can say functions as well, in Selenium to locate a web element. Okay, so what are these two functions? First one, find element. Okay, this is the function bracket, and another one is to find multiple element. Okay, so these are the two functions available in Selenium with the help of which you can locate the web element on web page. Okay, so someone asks you how you can locate the web element. So first answer will be, we will use these two methods. One is find element and second is find elements. So we will use these two methods to locate a web element on web page. Okay, so find element method, this will be used to locate a single element. Okay, as name suggests, find element. Okay, it's going to find a single element. Okay, and find elements. Okay, so as you can understand, this will be used to locate multiple element. Okay, multiple web elements. So find element method, this will return, if you see, this will return a web element. Okay, if you use this method, it will return a web element, and this method will return list of web element. Okay, list of web element. So what if, okay, you are using this method and if it does not found that web element, so it will throw, okay, this method will throw no such element exception. Okay, so we are going to see what exactly the exception means in Selenium and how to handle it in a separate video. So as of now, just see that find element method we are going to use to locate web element. Okay, but sometime it happens that that web element is not present on the web page. So that time this method will return, or this that time it will throw a no such element exception. Okay, and for find elements, as it is returning a list of web element. Okay, so if it does not found a single web element, then what it will return? It will return list of 0 web element. Okay, so it will not give any exception, but the list will be the, there will be nothing in the list. Okay, so list size will be the 0. Okay, so manually we need to perform these things, and in automation we will see where exactly our locators come into picture. So first you need to open a browser, right? So in automation script, okay, so first you need to invoke a browser, right? Invoke a browser. You know that how to invoke a browser. There is a other video in my playlist, how to invoke a browser. Then after opening a browser, you need to open a facebook.com, right? facebook.com. So we will use get method, right? Okay, okay. One step we missed, like after invoking a browser we need to create a driver reference, right? We need to create a driver reference first. Okay, and with the help of that driver we will use this method. Okay, so after you reach to the facebook.com website, next thing is to find email. Okay, email field, password field, and login button field. So first we need to enter that an email field. So your first thing that Selenium has to do is to find email field on the web page. Okay, so how Selenium is going to find this field, that we just see with the help of find element. So how you can use this find element method, let us see. So syntax, so first one is driver dot find element. Okay, this is the method. You need to call this method. Okay, and we need to provide something in this something as argument to these methods. So both of these methods need some argument, right? Okay, so the argument that we are going to provide to these methods are called as locators. Okay, these are called as locators, and with the help of locators these functions will be able to locate these fields. Okay, so we will send locators as argument. Okay, you can say, you can write here locators as argument. Okay, so both this function needs locator as argument. Okay, so how you can use it, like just I tell driver dot find element and driver dot find elements. Okay, so what are the different locators in Selenium? Okay, so let us see how many there are and this two question. Okay, so answer to these three questions is there are total 8. Okay, there are total 8 locators in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, and these locators we need to pass as argument to this function. Okay, so what are the different locators in Selenium? Okay, as per our question, so answer is there are total 8, and first one can say there is ID. Okay, second one is name, small name. Okay, then class name, tag name. Okay, first alphabet small. Okay, tag name. Then fifth one is link text. Okay, sixth one is very much similar, partial link text. Okay, partial link text. Then seventh, CSS selector, and eighth one is XPath. Okay, so there are total 8 locators in Selenium WebDriver, and what are these locators? Those are called ID, name, class name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector, and XPath. Okay, so if someone asks you what are the and how many locators are there, so just tell them there are 8 and tell these names, 8 names. Okay, so we will see one by one how you can use this and how to pass these locators as argument to these functions. Okay, so to pass this argument we need to use one class in Selenium. There is one class by. Okay, by class which is present in Selenium WebDriver, and this class has all these static methods. Okay, the class contains all these static methods, and with the help of class name we will be able to call these methods. Okay, so I will give the syntax as of now. So what is the syntax for this? You can write driver dot find element. Okay, so function will be the same, and in bracket by dot. So when you click on dot, okay, there will be suggestions. All these suggestions will appear: ID, name, class name. Okay, so you can pick any one of them. Okay, so we are using the class name, and we are going to call the static methods available in the by class. So to call the ID, or to use the locator ID, we need to write by dot ID. Okay, and this by dot ID needs some string argument. Okay, so as we are passing, we are saying, okay, go and find a web element with having some ID. Okay, so we need to pass what ID as a string. Okay, and then semicolon. So this is the syntax for using any locator. So if you are using ID, this is the syntax. If you are using the name, this will be the syntax. Just in place of ID you are going to use the name, so just write by dot name and then string, so whatever the name available to the web element. Okay, so similar for all these. Okay, so we'll understand that like it's similar to all these. So for let's see an example. What are these ID and name and class name, tag name, link text, how an web element contain this. Okay, so all these locators, all these class name, ID, name are the attributes given to the web element. So if you go to this and just you need to right click, inspect. So whatever you can see in this blue line, okay, that represent this web element. Okay, this represent this email text box. Okay, so while creating is this HTML page, developer use this some tag name and some attributes means some properties provided to this field to identify this field. Okay, so all these are the properties associated with this email text box. Okay, and that is given by the developer. So as you can see here, uh, there is one property called id. Okay, so just we can use id to locate a web element. Okay, so here id will be the attribute and its value will be given in the double quote. Okay, so this is the value of id, and this value you need to provide in as a string. So how we can do that? Let me just, for example, dot find element, and just control X. Oh, sorry, it's not working. Okay, so you need to provide the value of id attribute, okay, as a string. Okay, similarly for class, you can see the class attribute is there and it has some value inside this double quote. Okay, similarly this field has some other attributes. Okay, this type is also an attribute, its value is email. Then data test id, this is also an attribute and its value given in the double quote. So you can use for this first three, id, name, class name, we can say the tag name as well. Okay, so all these are attributes. Okay, so it can happen on a web page, a a web element or a field will have this id, name and class name. It may happen that that field will not have all these attributes. It can have only id, or it can have only name, or it can have nothing at all, like it will not have the class or name or id. So how we are going to find that web element which do not have any one of these attributes, id, name, class name? Okay, so first three are the attributes as I said, and tag name, you can will show you what is the tag name. So you can see here the input tag. Okay, so each and every field will have some tag name given, and according to the tag name we will be able to find that web element. Okay, so here you need to provide the tag name, so tag name is input. Okay, so similar to these three, you can use tag name as well. Tag name, and just provide here input, for example input. Okay, so we will see in practically how you can do this in next lecture, but just as of now, just say for all these four attributes or locators are dependent upon whether or not that web element or field has the developer has provided that attributes or not. If developer has not provided any one of those, like input, like tag name will always be there. Okay, but we won't be able to find, like using this tag name there will be multiple web elements available. Okay, as you can see here, there are so many web elements which has tag name as input. So normally we hardly use this tag name. It has some advantage in some special cases, but to identify web element uniquely, you need to go with class, name or id. Okay, so what if that field or web element do not have id, name and class? Okay, so that time we need to use, either you need to use the css or you need to go with the XPath. Okay, so that is happens most of the time, that a field will have some id or multiple, there are, like id is the attribute, and ideally id will represent only single field on a web page. Okay, that is the ideal condition. But in real-time application, it may happen that two fields are representing the same ID, or two or more fields are represented with the same class. Okay, so that time it will be the multiple, and you will not be able to locate your web element uniquely. Okay, so from all these scenarios, you need to go with XPath and CSS, and that we will see in detail in separate lectures, how to use CSS selector and how to use XPath. There are different types of the XPath and different methods available. Okay, so I am going to take separate lecture and separate video for XPath and separate for CSS selector, and these two are very important, okay, for locating an web element. Okay, these two does not depend upon the attributes. Okay, they will be we will be able to find web element depending upon the DOM structure. Okay, depending upon the HTML DOM, we will be able to create our XPath or create our CSS selector, and we will be able to locate the web element uniquely. Okay, so practically we are going to see in detail in about CSS and XPath in detail in separate videos. Okay, so just I have given you some real-time scenario what can happen in real-time application. Okay, if an web element contains or have these attributes, then it's okay, then you can go and use it. Okay, but what if they do not have such attributes? Okay, so in that condition you should go with XPath and CSS. So let's say what is link text and partial link text. So similar to this, all these four attributes. Okay, so we will be able to use the same syntax for finding a web element with the help of link text locator. So same function you can use, dot find element, then by dot call link text method. Okay, and we need to provide string argument. Okay, it needs some argument in string format. So let's say on Facebook page, okay, or any page, if you want to find any link on your web page, okay, so this is a link. And why it is called as a link? Because every link on a web page will have anchor tag associated with it. Okay, so if you see an anchor tag for some web element, so that is a link. Okay, and if anchor tag is not there, okay, so this is the button, right? This is the input or login button. So you can see that okay, there is no anchor tag, so we cannot say that this is a link. Okay, so all the links on a web page you will be able to find with the help of Selenium WebDriver, okay, by using link text. Okay, so you just have to send the text associated with this link. So as you can see, it's forgotten account, so this is the text. So if you check in the blue line given in this, it's called as a text. Okay, so this you need to provide as argument. Okay, so for example, this forgotten account, so Selenium will go and search for this link which has forgotten account as a text. Okay, and then we will be able to perform the actions. Similar for partial link text, as name suggests, we can send some partial value of the text. Okay, so this method is similar to this. Okay, but as an argument you just have to you will be required to send a partial text. Okay, even if you give a partial link text, it will be able to identify that web element or that link. For example, for the same example, with the help of partial link text, you just have to send any partial value. Okay, so let's remove this. Even though if you send this forgotten only, that time only also it will identify this forgotten account. Okay, so these are the two important locators to locate the links on your web page. Okay, so just keep in mind every link will have anchor tag. Okay, this is called an anchor tag, you can say anchor tag. Okay, so let us Okay, I'm going to show practically in next lecture. Okay, so just keep in mind these two are used to locate the links on web page. Okay, so for this we will have to give full text. Okay, if you are using link text, you cannot give forgotten only. Okay, that time it will give an error or exception that that web element is not found. But if like in some scenario there are some, it's a big text present for a web that link. Okay, so this is the feature given in the Selenium. Okay, don't give us the full link. Okay, if it is too long, you can give a partial link, like any word. You can give forgotten or you can give account. Okay, and then also you will be able to locate that. Okay, so this is the feature and two locators for identifying the link on web page. So for CSS selector, okay, these two are not depend upon any attributes. Okay, you need to create there is a syntax for both of them. Syntax for CSS, for example, let's say you have tag name, then bracket, then attribute. Okay, attribute is equal to attribute value. Okay, so attribute, with the help of attribute only we will be able to create the CSS and XPath. Okay, but you need to follow this syntax: attribute and attributes. Attributes value. Okay, so this is the syntax for CSS selector. So XPath has same kind of syntax. Okay, this will be easy to remember. Okay, all you have to do is give, okay, 2/ here, / tag name, okay, bracket, and here you need to provide @ symbol. Okay, this is the only difference in CSS and XPath. Okay, so this is quite easy and you need to follow this syntax if you want to identify a web element with the help of CSS and XPath. So these two are very big thing. Okay, and we are going to see in detail what are the different methods, and there are different ways. Okay, there are multiple ways you can create the XPath for a web element, and web element can have one or more XPath. Okay, so as there are number of ways you can create XPath, so we can create in multiple ways. Okay, so if you want to create a web element, if you want to create an XPath for this email field, you can use different, like there are attributes available. So with the help of different attributes, okay, you can create the XPath. For example, let's say for this field, you can take any attribute. Okay, so we have seen this already, class name, ID. Okay, you can directly use this attribute. But with the help of XPath, how you can do that? Let's say for let's say name, you just have to follow the syntax, and XPath will be ready. / tag name. So what is the tag name tag to this? This is the input, right? Right, input. Then square bracket, @ what attribute you are using? Name. Name equal to its value is email, right? So just pass this as a argument to this driver.find element. Okay, so I will write that as well. Driver.find element by dot CSS selector. Okay, and just provide as argument. Okay, string type of argument. Same here, dot find element by dot XPath and just pass this value. Okay, in double quote / Okay, so using this value, okay, the XPath value, so this is called as a okay, this is called as a XPath expression. Okay, XPath expression. Okay, so there are n number of ways to you can create the XPath. Okay, so that we'll see in detail in the coming lectures, but this is the basic example, basic syntax how you can use the XPath to and CSS selector to locate the web element. Okay, so there is only light difference in this, only you don't have to use the slash for creating the CSS selector, and the @ symbol is not required. Okay, so in coming lectures we are going to see everything practically, how you can use this id, name, class name, all these locators. Okay, we will see practically. We'll write some script in the Eclipse and then we will run it, and then we will see whether our script is able to write, perform some actions in this web page or not practically. Okay, so in this lecture we have seen theoretical part mostly, what are the locators and how many locators are there. Total there are 8 locators, but how you can find a web element with the help of two methods. Okay, find element and find elements. Okay, so find element, we have seen that it will able to locate a single web element at a time. Okay, and if there is no matching web element found on web page, it will throw the no such element exception. And find elements, as it is going to return a list of web element. Okay, so it will return a list of 0 element, or you can say empty list. Okay, when no matching element found. Okay, so this is all theoretical part. Okay, but you must know all this. Okay, if you want to become master in locating web element, okay, you need to understand and have a proper knowledge, okay, about this and all these locators, how you can use it. We see the basic syntax, so practically we are going to see in coming lectures. So I hope you have understood the basic theme and theoretical part all in this lecture. Okay, so still you have any question, just write it in the comment and I will try to answer it as soon as possible. So locators come into picture, okay, at when you, after opening the browser and creating the driver reference, and before performing any action, our locators come into picture. Okay, so this is very important concept. As I already said, it's the heart of Selenium WebDriver, and I'm going to post next session as soon as possible, where we will learn how to practically, okay, locate the web element with the help of Selenium. Okay, and we are going to use all these locators, so we will see in detail in coming lecture. Okay guys, so if you like the content and the knowledge of this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Okay, and press the bell icon so that you will get notification as soon as when I upload a new video. Okay, so thanks for watching and see you soon.